Hi everyone, I'm Kariba Divine and welcome to 12 News Weekend. Every week we recap the stories from around the state that you don't want to miss. On today's show, visitors are heading up to Flagstaff for the snow, but instead they're finding rain. How the snow shortage is hurting tourism and local businesses. And then later, the Arizona Cardinals are parting ways with their head coach after a tough 3-14 season. And questions about the team's future are just now beginning. But first, lost forever, or so they thought. An Arizona couple's priceless family documents and a shocking internet twist that you won't see coming. 12 News journalist William Pitts has more.
You're on vacation, you're tired, your car broke down, you're trying to unload it. If you leave something behind, you would just think that it's gone for good, and you would be right. Except in this case, one guy made it his mission to track down the owner of some items all the way from Austria. In the middle of a long trip to Europe, Kathy Massaran and Brad Williams had issues. In northern Italy, their car broke down.
We had to actually have it towed. And then we had to get another car while we were in Verona.
Yeah, they're all speaking Italian, and we don't speak but English.
We're trying to figure out how to talk through our phone app. We forgot the documents for his parents in the car.
We'll get back to the documents in a minute. Part of the reason for Brad and Kathy's trip was Brad's mom.
She was just a phenomenal mother, and she's with me every day.
She had died in 2004. Before she did, Brad asked her if there was anywhere she'd like to rest. She said Salzburg, Austria.
Well, I'd made the commitment to myself that eventually she was going to get to Salzburg.
21 years later, that's where Brad and Kathy were, scattering her ashes. Which brings us to the documents: a death certificate, obituary clippings, photos from the funeral.
We felt like, and we're kind of told, you need to take your death certificates and take pictures.
Otherwise, who knows what customs would think. But in the confusion of travel, it was all left behind in the rental car. Fast forward 2 months to a Facebook post, a clerk named Tomas at the car rental agency had found everything. He told 12 News company policy was to destroy it, but he knew they meant something, and that's why he posted, asking for help.
It blew up. It's amazing how many people in the community really wanted to help him find us.
150 messages, phone calls, all to help Tomas find Brad and Kathy halfway around the world. This week, they finally made contact.
It was amazing. First of all, I think it is just so incredible and heartwarming.
Tomas, who's still in Austria, didn't want to do an interview, but he said the documents will be in the mail when he gets done with work. Brad and Kathy hope one day they can thank him in person.
He's just the kind of individual you'd like to, meet, because he did something special, above and beyond. But a great guy, and someday I hope to look, or maybe we'll get a chance to meet him.
William Pitts, 12 News.
There's no snow. What's going on?
This isn't what people visiting Flagstaff wanted to see.
We definitely expect it to be snow.
Some coming up from Phoenix made it through the dense fog on I-17, but instead of getting snow covering the streets, they got rain.
That was the whole idea of taking this trip, was coming for snow.
Having kids, we really expect snow. So we were a little disappointed, but we still had fun.
Putting a damper on their trip and creating less foot traffic for businesses.
We have had less people into our shop, because of that reason.
With ski shops taking the biggest hit.
We had a nice rush at the beginning. Things warmed up again and really dipped off.
Smith with Peace Outfitters says around the holiday is their busiest time, with people buying everything they need.
Snow gloves, jackets, bibs, all the way down to just plastic sleds. So really that's in effect everywhere within the surrounding market.
But that's not the case now. And when it comes to ski rentals,
a lack of snow makes a really big difference in the number of overall rentals that we send out through the season.
And rented gear that comes back,
you got to spend a little bit of time filling that,
is damaged and takes time to repair.
When the snow gets thin and there's rocks just below the surface, the weight of you on top of that board pushing over that rock will definitely pull out some chunks of material.
The weather leading to Flagstaff Snow Park having to cancel snow tubing sessions for Saturday for Snow Bowl. Angie Grubb says they've been making man-made snow around the clock.
We've got 7 out of 8 lifts open, and over 50% of our terrain is open.
But during Christmas, some visitors received this notice that their lift ticket had been canceled. Writing rain and warmer temperatures forced them to close all beginner terrain and cancel lessons. giving those visitors resort credit that they can use this season.
We wanted to make it as right as we possibly could with the guests and make sure that they still had a great Christmas.
Everyone here hoping Mother Nature will have a change of heart soon, bringing back the snow and those who come here for it.
I think things are looking up.
It's a tough time right now for cotton growers in Arizona. The Arizona Cotton Growers Association tells us this week U.S. tariffs have had a significant negative impact on the cotton industry, particularly with the loss of China as a key export market. They say China's retaliation against U.S. tariffs means it's gone from purchasing 3 to 5 billion bales of U.S. cotton per year to just a few thousand. That's not good for Arizona, where although the cotton market is not what it used to be, still about 1,500 jobs rely on the industry. Mark and Debbie Claridge farm cotton and alfalfa in eastern Arizona. Mark is a fourth-generation farmer. Many like him sell their cotton through a broker in California who then sells most of that overseas. Mark says they've taken a historic hit on prices the last couple of years.
You know, if you farmed cotton for very long, you've seen a downturn or two. They're hard. Not everybody comes out the other side in one piece.
The Trump administration recently announced the Farmer Bridge Assistance Program, a $12 billion aid package to farmers impacted by trade disruptions. Claridge says he hopes he'll qualify for support. The money is expected to land in bank accounts of farmers who have applied and qualified next month. Claridge says he hopes tariffs result in new deals for the U.S. that benefit farmers in the long term.
I'm a farmer. I'm an optimist. Sun's going to always come up tomorrow, and right now it's the beginning of a bright new year.
The American Farm Bureau calls the aid a good first step, but says it represents only about 1/3 of the $34 billion U.S. crop farmers lost this year. Many of those farmers are also relying on insurance and existing government aid programs to keep business alive. Joe Dana, 12 News.
Coming up, a West Valley teen steps into the ring and walks out a national champion. How this young boxer beat the odds and brought home the title.
There's a kid on the wall at Caballero Boxing. Not the one flexing, not mugging for the camera. Luis Gabaldon is quiet.
I don't know, I just like the sport. It's very entertaining.
But put him in the ring, and you find out who he really is.
He used to play fight a lot as a little kid. We figured boxing would be a great way for him to stay in shape and, just channel that energy.
1, 2.
He just hit the ground running and was a natural.
That's what his dad saw, what his coach saw.
Honestly, I just seen a happy kid that would always come into the gym, with a smile on his face. Again, let's go.
They give a lot of support. They work me out a lot. And it's just fun to be here.
At age 13, this could have just been a hobby, maybe an amateur sport. But Ramel Caballero saw something else.
I think about him, if he gets hit, he wants to get his back, so he'll start coming after you and start throwing too, so he could pretty much do it all.
Footwork, punching, movement, Luis put it all together and went to the national championships in Lubbock, Texas.
You got the ground, baby. And then now, bro, we become national champions. Let's go.
3 fights, 3 wins, a national champion, and now ranked #1 in the country.
I had just had the mentality going into it that I was going to win. I think that helped me out.
I've only been a coach for about 4 years now, so, to have a kid make it to the Nationals and actually just win the Nationals, that's really put a smile on my face.
I think if you could do boxing, you could do just about anything. So whether it's college or boxing or whatever it is he chooses to do, I know he's going to be ready for it.
We can go as far as he wants to go.
And Luis wants to go to the top.
I want to go pro. I want to make it.
William Pitts, 12 News.
Moves like this are second nature for 12-year-old Lily Santisi.
I'm better at the splits.
After all, she's been dancing at this Peoria dance school since she was just 2 years old.
I just like how fun it is and the people I do it with.
Until she was diagnosed with bone cancer in the fall of 2024.
It was scary because I didn't know what cancer was at first.
She endured months of treatment.
It was harsh. It made me sick and it hurt.
And surgery to remove part of her femur, forcing her to miss 2 seasons with her dance team.
That was like hard because like I love dancing.
That's when Make-A-Wish Arizona stepped in.
She pretty much knew that she wanted something to involve dancing or around the Rockettes. So luckily we were able to partner with our chapter in New York to make Lily's wish come true.
Months after finishing treatment, the nonprofit flew Lily and her family to New York City over the holidays for a private backstage dance lesson with the Rockettes.
5 and 6. They were really nice. Like the choreography was like harder and like the kicks were really fun to do, but they were hard.
So how did it feel to be alongside these women who you've watched every Thanksgiving?
It felt like really cool and really special to just like be there with them.
1, 2, hold 3. After training, she watched them perform in the Radio City Christmas Spectacular.
It was so cool. There were like so many like cool dances and costumes.
And by the end of the trip, she came home with some new moves of her own.
And then like we did like a bunch of like these turns.
A sparkly souvenir.
They gave me this really cool shirt and it's really cool. It has like bedazzles.
And some valuable words of wisdom.
Did they give you any sort of advice on how you can become a Rockette one day?
They gave me like just like keep following your dream and like just have fun with it.
In Peoria, Maria Stobbs, 12 News.
21-year-old Mesa clarinet player Joe Giacinto, who's blind and autistic, was recorded playing the national anthem before the Park University Buccaneers women's basketball home opener against Nelson in Gilbert. His dream is to play the national anthem at a major sporting event.
They posted a video on Instagram and it now has more than 2 million views.
That video going viral.
Crazy. It's just, it means a lot that so many people are so inspired.
NBA star Dominique Wilkins saw the video and flew him out from Phoenix to Atlanta to play the national anthem at an Atlanta Hawks game.
Yeah, it was amazing. I've never been to Atlanta, so I was very fortunate to have my mom come along with. A huge thanks to Culture City.
He could feel the excitement.
I could tell it was a very energetic crowd. It gave me the encouragement. I was a little nervous at first, but like once I started playing, my fears just kind of melted away.
And meeting Wilkins was something he'll never forget.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. So I got to meet him as I was getting set up to play. My mom took some nice photos. And then during halftime, I got to meet him again. He signed a jersey that I bought from Dick's. I also gave him one of my business cards.
After all, Joe has been playing for 9.5 years.
I listened to classical music a lot when I was a child, and especially loved the clarinet solos. It soothed me so much. It's rich tone, beautiful sounds, and gives me the goosebumps.
It's hard to pick a favorite tune to play because he knows more than 100 by heart.
Classical jazz, jazz pop fusion.
And how long it takes to memorize a song varies.
Usually like 2 or 3 listens.
And he's got it. And while we're all still in awe at how talented he is, Joe's still amazed about the popularity he's gained so quickly.
It's wild. I was not expecting this.
Sharing the thrill of it all, living out his dream.
Yeah, because my family grew up listening to sports. Like my mom used to play basketball, high school and through college. My brothers currently play football.
And so this was his chance to get out there and do his part.
Yeah.
For others out there aspiring to play,
if they try and put the effort in, they got this.
Trisha Hendricks, 12 News.
Arizona needs club kids, and club kids need you. At Boys and Girls Clubs of the Valley, with support from State Farm, Valley Toyota dealers, and Semper Fi Heating and Cooling, we're helping shape brighter futures for Arizona's youth through education, mentorship, and opportunity.
I always thought that if I could ever earn the trust of the people watching me, that would be the greatest accomplishment ever. Because if you think about our mantra, dedicated to journalism, dedicated to you, has never been more important. A good journalistic organization like 12 News, we can't and don't have an agenda. We have to play it down the middle every single night to bring about positive change and to solve problems in communities.
Yeah, Trev, I'm going to be honest with folks out there. I didn't think Michael Bidwell was going to make this move, but the first step admitting you got a problem is admitting there is a problem. And this team has a lot of problems, especially when it comes to winning. If you kind of take a pulse of the fan base, right, this move needed to happen without question, right? The fan support seems kind of at an all-time low right now. And if you go by the numbers, this is a no-brainer. Bottom line, Jonathan Gannon didn't just win enough here as Cardinals head coach, and that's why he's no longer here. Here's video from just moments ago. Gannon got the news this morning after a morning meeting with owner Michael Bidwell and GM Monty Ossenfort. JG then got to address the team one final time, and then, of course, here he is leaving the facility just a little after noon. Players and assistant coaches have been going in and out of the building all morning, some even stopping to sign autographs for fans. JG, by the way, just won 15 games in 3 seasons here with the Cardinals. They just weren't competitive in the division, weren't competitive at times at all. Players, ownership, and the front office spoke at volumes of the great culture JG created in the locker room and in the building, but none of it added up to winning, and that's why he's no longer here. Cardinals, of course, coming off the worst season in team history, 14 losses, a team record, including losing 13 of their last 14 games. Sure, they led the league in injuries, but bottom line, this is a results business, and the results just weren't there.
As you all know, this is a league about wins and losses. The wins and losses speak for themselves, especially this year. We just felt like we were going in the wrong direction and we needed to change course. Of the totality of all the circumstances, the best decision was to move in a different direction with head coach. But I have worked with Monty for 3 years, and I'm very comfortable and confident in his ability to be our general manager.
There's not a guy that I respect more than JG. He and I came in together. What JG did, it's night and day, that group, what that locker room looks like now from then. So I will always respect. JG is a great man. He's a great coach. So I respect everything that he's done for us to now.
You know, Trev, one of the big questions I know many people have out there, so why is JG fired and GM Monty Ossenfort gets to keep his job? Well, owner Michael Bidwell says he has full confidence in Ossenfort to kind of retool this roster, and he did throw out the word quickly. Some other news and notes, we asked Monty, does he kind of feel some guilt, some accountability in all this? He says without question he's going to look himself in the mirror when it really comes to retooling this roster and getting this team back to winning. Here's the thing, fans have been frustrated a lot this season, and they've shared a lot of those thoughts with me. Well, Michael Bidwell, the owner, he hears the fans' frustration. He's frustrated himself. Remember, teams that hired head coaches 3 years ago when JG got here, heck, 2 years ago, have already turned their teams around and are back in the playoffs. He knows it can be done and is putting some pressure on this organization and the GM to get it done quickly moving forward. As far as what is they're looking for in their next head coach, listen, all the names out there would be pure speculation at this point. They haven't even gotten that far yet, but they do say they want a leader who can continue this culture here and figure out ways to maximize the players that they got on this roster and develop players moving forward. JG talked about that a lot this year. Player development was just lacking at times. And finally, the big question moving forward, is Kyler Murray still the franchise quarterback? They decided not to comment on that just yet, so it's up in the air whether Kyler Murray will be on this team moving forward or not. He's owed about $50 million guaranteed with 2 years left on his contract, so we'll have to see. A lot of questions with this organization moving forward as they now head into the offseason where they're obviously trying to get a new coach, and Tram, they have to figure out what to do at the quarterback position. Back to you.
Here are some phrases the typical person doesn't say.
Like, I just want this thing to be miserable. I got this huge gash in my foot, like my foot, like basically trench foot. The only time I slept was when my wife and crew were like changing my shoes and socks. Right in the arch of my foot, split open at probably mile 40.
George Cyrus isn't your typical guy. At 36 years old, this Queen Creek firefighter likes to run distances over 200 miles long.
I strive on multi-day efforts that you have to be able to eat and move and run, and then sleep deprivation, which is like where I thrive.
All right, he must have been running his whole life.
I did not run until I was almost 30.
Okay, well then he must have a lot of free time, but he has a wife and 3 kids under the age of 10. Growing up in Queen Creek, George has a background in professional motocross racing and never would have thought he'd be running ultramarathons and be one of the best in the world at it.
My name is George Cyrus. This is the start of Moab 240.
George is more of a don't think, just do it kind of guy. He skipped regular marathons and started running ultras. The reason being, he wanted something harder than the 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb and tried the Mogollon Monster 100-mile race in Arizona.
Oh yeah, I finished. My feet were messed up. My nutrition was bad. It was bad all the way around. Like it tore me down.
So with that glowing review, George wanted to make it an annual thing and started training. But this year, there were 3 200-plus mile races that he signed up for, where he had a very unusual way to prepare.
There wasn't a lot of training going into these runs.
Before these races, George woke up every weekday at 3:30, ran for about an hour, and then that's all he did for months, because he had fire academy training all day and his kids' sports and family time on the weekend.
I think my longest run going into Tahoe this year was 12 miles. Wait, I looked at it as like, oh, I'm gonna be super fresh coming into this race. So I just made it as like, hey, I'm gonna work out 1 hour every day.
Here's how George did. He placed 16th at the Tahoe 200 in California, finishing in 73.5 hours, 8th in the Bigfoot 200 in Washington in just over 57 hours, and 3rd in the Moab 240 in Utah with a final time of 69 hours and 48 minutes. Add up everything. George ran 640 total miles in 8 days, 8 hours, and 29 minutes, which earned him 2nd overall in the ultramarathon Triple Crown.
I hadn't really raced 200. It was like, hey, I'm just gonna be in the pack and I would like to not get time cut.
Turns out, George only gets stronger and faster as the race goes on.
How do you not get injured and your body's able to maintain this pace for this long?
I think so. It does get injured. So there's no way around not getting injured. I think the biggest thing is the taking care of yourself on the back end. Sleep, eat, diet, exercise.
The persistence of being consistent every day. When he can't run, he lifts. When he can't go heavy, he goes light. It's this mindset that helps him keep going.
There's probably those inner thoughts telling you when it's really hard, like you can quit, you can stop.
Yeah.
What do you do when that happens?
Just keep moving. Don't make any decisions in an ultramarathon until you've eaten a whole meal and you've slept.
Thanks everyone for watching, and just a reminder, new episodes of 12 News Weekend premiere every Friday on 12+. You can also watch past episodes on the app. It's simple, just download 12+ for your Apple TV, Fire TV, and Roku, and you can watch for free. I'm Cardinals Divine. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend.